Hello. So welcome. My name is Kwabena Darko. Welcome. You can tell your friends. You can share the channel. Let them know that we are live today. And today we want to share systems. Systems. It's a word that goes around, and we want to share it. So if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up and tell people about it. Systems. How things are organized in this world. If most people understand the word from individual positions, so a lot of things are understood. Most of our people, things are explained to them from the individual positions. And it's a whole different thing if you understand the word from a system position. If you understand, if you're able to look through this word or look at this word with a certain window, and where you really understand what they call systems, it's a whole different thing. But if you understand things from individual positions, then that is a whole different thing. So systems is key. The essence why God gave us this mind that we have is to be able to build systems. It's to be able to build systems. So all the problems you see in this life, they are solved with systems. And all the problems you see are created by systems. And those who win in this life, they win because they have better systems. And those who fail were not aware of the systems. So your body, the human body that God gave you is a whole complex system. So you have the heart, because something digestive system, all kind of systems. Those who did human biology, they will tell you the moment you move around, there is a drainage system. So when you go to countries that when it rains small, there's flood everywhere, it means the drainage system is not working, or they don't have any. It's not prayer, it's a drainage system that they don't have. If they're able to build the drainage system, they will solve the flood, whatever volumes that are pouring, to be able to control them. If you go through any road where there's a lot of accidents, many times, if you look at the road system, you understand why they have a lot of accidents. The human, if you look at the universe is a complex system. The galaxy is a complex system. And the moment you understand these things, you'll be able to explain a lot of things. And it's important that you develop your mind as a human being. You develop your intellectual capacity as a human being. It's important that you think like that. And I wish a lot of our people will be obsessed with being able to develop their mind and to understand a lot of complex systems in this world. Because sometimes when you hear people talk, you become sad, because you can see that everything is flat. So they don't see the complexities. If you go to any world, you see particular race, and all of them are in this category of jobs. All of them are in this level of salary, of income. They all live in a particular place. It's a system. It takes a system. Once in a while, one of them will just be able to jump out. And then that one that has been able to jump out will tell everybody that it's a fair system. They don't understand it. The moment, if you want majority of your people to do well, you look at the system that is keeping them down, and then you attack it. And the best way to start is for them to understand that there is a system. There's something we call system. And if you don't understand it, nothing else they explain to you, you agree. And that's why people will go into the other side. They say that everything is demon. Especially the Ghanaians, they will tell you that this business that I'm doing, I'm struggling. When I open the business, they steal. Anybody that I give the business to, they will not be honest with me. the shop, the girls are not trustworthy. You know, today somebody showed me a video. He said that a gentleman said that he opened some machine business. He was cutting some, you know, some design blocks, and all the boys he puts there, they are dishonest. They don't like work. They are lazy, and people are telling them that they should start businesses. But when they start them, the Ghanaian youth are lazy. I say, you don't understand system. The moment you understand system, you will not talk like that. The same Ghana that you're condemning, there's China Mall. They have about maybe 4 or 5 branches. There is ShopRite. They have a lot of branches. There is Mecom. Mecom maybe has 40 or 50 branches. The same Ghanaians. The difference is your ability to understand systems. You know, the same Ghana that you are complaining that nothing, they will steal everything. Mecom has been here for the last 30 years or so. A lot of these banks are here. And you only one business. You open one business, instead of us to admit that there is something we don't know, especially those of you who have opened businesses, there's something you don't know. There's a skill you don't have. There's a certain understanding that you don't have. We will not agree to that. We will rather say that the youth are this, they are that, they are dishonest, all kind of things. When people talk like that, it means there's a level of thinking that they are, you know, and I'm saying that the complex of it is you being able to understand the system. And there's something we call training system. And there's a way that you have to restructure the minds of your people so that they can work with you, you know, and that requires training. So you yourself, you cannot lead a people to where you yourself, you have not been. And majority of the people who are complaining that they open businesses and Ghanaians are, the guy was I'm very sad, I'm opening a business here. Those of you who are even in Ghana, you open businesses and they destroy the businesses, and therefore, if I'm outside, I'm very, no. And I told him that there's something we call management, there's something we call systems. You know, if you don't understand the word from that position, you will just be talking like everybody else is talking, you know. So there is something we call system, there's something we call structure. That's why somebody is selling water, it's on the head. The same water, somebody else has bottled them and it's everywhere. They have employed a lot of people, the same product. The difference is the systems that they have built. So if you're going to build business, you must understand what they call system. And system is just procedures, points, steps that you have documented that you follow to get a particular resource. You know, so anybody who has a documented procedures, steps that they follow to produce anything, that is a system. They are very complex systems and they are very simple systems. I'm saying all of them, they are still systems, you know. So if you, for instance, if you want to create wealth, if you want to build financial freedom, there are processes that you have to have. There are systems that you have to have. You know, you want to say that, okay, maybe if I get salary, this is the amount that I'm going to put here, and this is where I'm going to put that money, and I'm going to do that for the next 20 years. So you have a goal, and then you have some 1 or 2 or 5 steps that you follow. And if you subject yourself to that, routine, then it's a system. And your success is in the system that you have built. Your failure is also in the same system. So if you're not aware of anything they call system, you are bound to fail. You know, system will give you predictable results. System will give you predictable results. You know, so the world, as a matter of fact, the essence of your education is to be able to build structures, to be able to build systems. You know, so they have school produces the people. So if that's why you put your child through creche and kindergarten, and before you see that child is 10 years, that child is in primary 6. You know, the child that could not talk, now that child can read. It's a whole system that they sent the child through. That's why they go to school Monday to Tuesday. You know, the intention is that when they go through that, they'll be able to read, maybe speak something, do mathematics. That's a system. So whoever does not go through that will not be able to have that kind of resource, you know. So if you want to produce engineers, there are systems that you put in place. You want to build a house, the same thing. You talk to the architect, they come up with drawings. You talk to the structural people, they come up with all this, they do their calculation, they know where to put. That procedure is you know, it's something that you can repeat, it's repetitive. That is a system. The same thing, you go to the market. That tomato woman has a procedure. She knows where to source the tomato. She knows where, how many days that the tomato has to stay. They know that they can rot at this time. You know, if she's sick, she knows that the daughter would have to be there. That's a structure, that's a system. You know, so systems are responsible for problem solving. Systems are responsible for problem solving. So any problem that you have to sit down and say that, what can I design to solve this problem? Any problem. Let's say your child is 15 years. You say something and they don't understand it. They are fighting you. Did you have any particular model that you sent them through, particularly training on everything? Did you send them through anything? If you did not have any structure, any system to develop them beyond the classroom and even beyond church, you know, if you did not have that and the child is behaving a particular way this time, it's because you did not have any structure to train them, any process to send them through, you know. And when people are not aware of that, then the world as it is becomes very complex for them. Then they deduce all kind of interpretations to what happens to them. But people who understand this world from a system position know that a lot of things are within their control. A lot of things are within their control, you know. A lot of things are within their control. For instance, this politics, this election that they are going to do in Ghana, those who have strong systems will win, fairly or unfairly. And the other ones who are waiting for somebody to declare that God has given them power to lead Ghana, they will lose. So if you want to win, have a particular system. If you want to win, have a particular system, and you study it. It's not something that it cannot be studied. All of us can study something. So from the personal level, even your health, if you have health implications, look at your lifestyle, look at the things that you eat. You can easily correct them if you put yourself through a routine, you know. If you have complications, you can sit down and say that, okay, what kind of water do I drink? How much of sugar, salt do I take in? Do I even walk? Do I even, you know, rest? What kind of food do I eat? Do I eat all this processed food all the time? You know, all those. So if you have complications now, it's because of your lifestyle. And that routine that you've been following is a system. You know, so if you want to change it, then you sit back and say that, okay, this is the results that I want. So let me change it. And once you change it, you will have a better results. So it's almost in everything. All your friends disappoint you. No problem. How do you choose them? Based on what? What is the level of, you know, engagement? What's their financial level? What is their intellectual level? What is their belief? Those things, they are responsible whether you have a friend and they leave you, they are dishonest, or, you know, so you can always put blame on everything, but study system. The moment you study systems, a lot of things will be very clear to you. So today, I'm just drawing your attention to, they call some things systems, and that is something that they should have put in our schools. And it's something that is built out of creative minds, out of innovative minds, out of critical minds, you know. The people who are inquisitive build structures and systems. Those who are just hoping, they build nothing. And so everything else can push them around, because they are not aware that the results that they are producing now is coming from a particular system that they have built. And if they want a great system, they can. Ghana wants to play football and win World Cup. Look at the system of selection. If it's strong, and you look at the system of training. If it's strong, you look at the system of picking your coaches. If it's strong, those things, then you can be sure that when you go, you will win, no matter the hindrances. But if the selection is weak, the coaching is somewhere, institutions are run on personal interest, then you cannot give us hope that when you go, you will win. No matter how much motivation that you give, the systems that you have put in place will show the results, not the motivation. Not the motivation. So my name is Kwabena Darko. Anybody who was able to attend our conference, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we enjoy ourselves. You know, people came from not only Accra, some of them came from Ahafo, some of them came from the Western region, Ashanti region. Thank you so much for taking your time. It's a system that you're building. Your training is responsible for your results. You know, your training, the training that you subject yourself to, is responsible for your results. And great people, great businesses, they know this. So if you are not training yourself with anything, then you can't hope that the results today you will win, but tomorrow you'll be unhappy. Why? Because you don't have structure, you don't have training. So if you're a business person, if you're an individual, if you're an entrepreneur, you must have a system that trains you. There should be a training model. There should be a training. So for instance, if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see under the playlist, you can see all kind of topics that we have put there. You know why? Because it's a system. That's why somebody can go there and watch it and say that, wow, because it's a system. You can see financial education, then you can see entrepreneurship, you can see personal development, you can see mindset and skill set, you can see team development. All those are structures. So those are models. If you take your time and watch 1, 2, 3, look at the interviews that we do. If you watch some of them, you start to see the world from a different position. Why? Because it's structured. We didn't just, it's not designed to entertain you. It's designed to make sure that you become highly productive individual. So the channel is a system. If you watch us on Facebook, for instance, it's the same thing. It's a system that we have developed. That's why you can watch 1, 2, 3 videos and you can't sleep. Why? Because it's a system. We are going after the things that they didn't put in you. We are telling you that you don't have to use negative words all the time, and that there is nothing wrong with you as an African. And there is something they did not put in your education, which is your history. And that's why you are worshiping the white man, to say that the white man is very intelligent. And when you sit back, you say that your people are very stupid, because it's a system that some people design to make you a servant and to push their own agenda and to subjugate you. You are not aware of that. The moment you are aware, you design a whole different system to destroy that, so that you can be free and live the best of your life. It's a system, you know. So the way you've been taught about money is a system, you know. So if you're poor, it's because your essence, your education on money is wrong. You know, systematically, you've been educated to be poor, to be average, to look for a job. And if you don't have a job, you become hopeless. You think that you can live for anything. It's a system. It's a system. So you go to our channel, you will see it. All the topics that we talk about, they are systemic. We don't just put anything there. Why? Because we know that when you put people through a system, you will get the best of results, you know. So racism, for instance, is a system. When people don't understand it, they compare it to tribalism. They say that, you know, we also practice tribalism in our country. So to racism and tribalism, because you don't understand systems. Racism is a wealth preservation system that was created by white people to dominate the world. That's all, you know. So access to wealth and power is in them, and they control a lot of things. It's a system that is designed to make sure that they control. That's why access to capital, you know, 98%, 96% of those who control venture money in the West is what? Is who control them? It's the white man, you know, because they know that once they can control the flow of money, they can control a lot of things. So when you don't understand things like that, even education, that's why they're always telling you the Greek philosophers and civilization started from the Greeks. Why? Because it's a system. They want to educate you in a particular way, so that there's a limit that they know you will go with this kind of education that only sees the white man as great and everybody else as haven't done anything. You know, so when you don't understand the system, you fight for them, you debate, especially our friends who have gone for PhD and MSc in their kind of education. They don't understand it, and they'll flip on the other side and say that the Africans are not wise because it's a system. So you study it. Everything around you is a system. So systems are just procedures, steps, you know, that you go through. And once you study that, you will be able to break a lot of things down. So any problem that confronts you, break them down. We call something, what is it? First principles approach. First principles approach are things that you break to the cellular level, you know, to a very minute level, so that you can it's like re-engineering, so that you can solve problems. So any complex problem that is you know, you are confronted with, sit back, and your ability to break those systems, those structures down, you'll be able to solve problems. And in this world, everything is a problem that you're solving. And so the ability to solve these problems will show whether you're going to be successful or you're not going to be successful. You know, so things that you see around you, everything that has been produced is coming from a system. It's not just an individual. No, it goes beyond individual approach. The car, that's why when you tag some things to race, you're missing it, because that computer is coming from a whole structure that has been put together from different people in different times and with different ages. So when you think of system, then you will not be able to say that these other people are very stupid. No, they are not stupid. It's a system. It's a system. It's a system. So study systems. Your mind was given to you to build systems. It's not given to you to watch comedy and watch things and laugh all the time and smile and still have problems. Your mind was given to you so that you can build structures, you can build processes, you can build systems. That's why the humans have creative minds. The minds that we have, almost all the other animals don't have that. We have minds to create, to build processes, to build procedures, to structure things. And those things will then be responsible for the results. So if you're given an education that is that systems thinking is absent, then you just, you will not be able to solve problems. There's a lot of the people that we have sent to school who are not able to solve problems. It's because they are unaware of what they call systems. So you solve problems with systems. You combat systems with systems. So build your own system for your business. Your business, build your own system. If the people are not working to the satisfaction or to your satisfaction, build a training system. What do you want to see? Build a system to train them on sales, on personal hygiene. Build a system on training them how they can even handle their own personal money. Build a system to teach them on the product, on the services that you're rendering. Build a whole system to teach them how to be positive and optimistic. You cannot be that much negative and pessimistic as a people. Every wrong thing you want to attribute them to us, and every great thing you want to attribute them to some people. It's a system. So build your own financial system. If you don't have any, you're not going to be wealthy. You're not going to be successful. You're not going to be rich if you don't have your own financial system. And you have to design something that is unique with you and to you. You can have, okay, I want to build a business. Out of the business, I want to go into properties. Or I want to build a business. Out of the business, I want to go and buy shares in some people's company. I want to build business. Out of the business, I want to go and buy a cocoa farm. I want to even start producing onion. And from the onion, I want to produce cassava. And from the cassava, I want to go to plantain. I don't want to have anything to do with technology and anything. That is a system that you have created. And the moment you understand that system, you'll be wealthy. You build that system and you commit to it, you'll be worth it. That is how wealth is created. So if you don't have any wealth system, then you don't expect to be rich. You expect that you work all your life, and hopefully you pray that God will come in and save you. So there's a system for everything. And understand that, study it. I did system engineering in the MS level, and they just use the technical ways to make it so complex, but it's not anything. It's just procedures. They can put them in computers and all that. Almost everything that you see is just, you can put them in a book or maybe buy an exercise book and put your steps there. You can put them on your phone. Algorithms are systems. So they use complex, artificial intelligence. All those are all predicated on systems, steps, procedures. That depends on how you want to store those procedures, but the basic things are that these are points that you have to follow, and the moment you follow them, then you can get a particular result. So put your life in a structure, put your life in a system. Don't just live your life anyhow and hope that the God that you're serving, the galaxy, the universe, study it. Study the universe, study the structure, study it. You will see. Just read about it, Google it, and see how complicated those systems are. And you say you are following God, and even your finances, you cannot structure them. So study God from a system position, and you will not worry that God again. You will see that you have to create things to solve problems, and they are in precise positions. For instance, the speed of light is about 300,000 kilometers per second. The speed of light. Study light. Light is the source of life. Study light. Read about that. There are things that we have to be aware. There are so many things that our people are very much oblivious to, and then we convince ourselves that we are studying everything. Study, just basic things. Study the mind, study light, study the universe, study the galaxy, Read about them. You'll be amazed that you are just a tiny something in a great universe. You know, when we were children, they talk about the solar system. Study it and see. Read about them. Bombard your mind, stretch your mind. That is how the mind, if you don't expand it, then you can't create anything with it. The more you know, the more you can do. You know, the more you know, the more complex things that you know, they will decide what you create. The reason most people don't create anything is because they are not aware of a lot of complex things. For instance, as you are, what product can you produce? The level of production that you have is based on the level of the quality or the depth of systems that you understand. You know, what technology do you have? Can you produce a computer? Can you produce phone? Can you produce whatever that you sometimes I look around, even though it's a good start, but majority of our people, what can we produce? Just look around. The things that you can produce, they show the depth of your understanding of systems and structures. And almost every one of us can produce something. So if you go to the Chinese, they are producing all these complex electronics, you know, electronic gadgets. Why? Because they understand those systems. So maybe you don't understand that. You understand the system to produce okra. No problem. Start there. But at least challenge yourself that once I produce this okra, once I produce this okra, the next time I'm going to design machines. Don't just import machines. Design something and go to the fabricators to say that I've seen this machine on the internet. I want you to produce them and guide them. They are just made out of gear, you know, gears and gear members, metal members, you know, moving. They can. If you guide them, they can. So challenge yourself with how to solve problems yourself and think in terms of structures and systems, you know, in terms of structures and systems. We need to do that. All human beings are doing that. That's why you see a lot of our boys are just producing. What do they, the kind of businesses that we start, they show the level of depth of systems that we think we understand. So with the devastating mind, I'm writing this in tears and kindly help me with 5,000 amount from I'm dying. Wow, you want to come here and look for money? Wow. Where do you stay? Are you in Ghana or where? Where do you stay? Okay. So systems, develop that. It will help you. Develop that. Understand it. My whole essence is to tell you that there is something they call system, and they are just processes. And look through the world. Look at the world now. Everything that you see. The people that you hail, those of you who watch a lot of football from England, it's a whole complex system that they have developed. That's why you watch them all the time. The adverts that you see is a complex system. That's why they bombard you all the time. You know, everything that you see, everything in this world that you see, people have developed processes, steps, and they know where you are going to be. They know the results that they want to get. You know, so sit down, study it, read about it. Because if you're not aware, there's a lot that you will not be able to do with your life. You know, so we have made very simple systems around our lives. So, and then we expect you to build something like that. So you must have your own sales system, your own marketing system for your business. The way you recruit, the way you train, the way you sell. You said today they didn't buy anything. Do you have any sales system? Do you have any sales approach? Do you have anything? Or you just hope that one day, everything will go. You know, if you open more shops or more businesses, do you have a system that can replicate, you know, that can get you similar results as the one that you are present? There is what we call business culture. You must build a culture, and the culture is also a system that produces a particular resource. It trains the people to get a particular resource. So build a business culture that will be responsible for the results that you're getting. So whenever I hear people complain that Ghanaian workers are this, Ghanaian workers are that, I say that they have no system in their thinking. So they're just complaining. The moment you build a system, I can tell you that if you take 100 and you continuously train them for 6 years or 6 months, 1 year, you'll be able to get at least 20% of them who will give you good results. They will be truthful, they'll be hardworking. Why? Because you teach them how they also have to organize their finances, how they also have to organize their life, and how their decisions affect the businesses. You know, but you don't have any training, you just complain that you are expecting them to be very honest because they read the Bible at workplace. No. You're expecting them to be very honest because the uncle is a pastor. No, you're expecting them to be very honest with you because your friend brought them. No, you must have a culture, which is a system that develops your people. And you can only complain if you don't build any proper system that brings the best from your team or in your team. Everyone, I don't think very few people are very much destructive at heart. Most people would want to be on the good side of life. Most people, if you put free money there and you say that they should steal, most people will pick the one that is honorable. So you have to carry that premise that they do what they do because that is what they know. But if you convince yourself that, yes, they know it, but they will do it the other way, which I've met a lot of people who think like that, then there is no hope. But I am of the conviction that people can be trained, and training can shape people's position and bring the best out of them. And maybe that's why you are listening in the first place, because you think that there's value in training, in information. And once you get that, it can shape something and you can reorganize, reconstruct. So they say that Ghana is independent, and I say that independent from what? Some people came to just do some things in a particular time, and now that is your reference point, as if we didn't exist as a people. So I would say that maybe it's a reconstruction era, that we should call ourselves like that. It's not everyday independence. Independence from what? The British came here. So when are we going to move forward? As if the British, but it's a particular system of education that they have given our people. That's why they think the way they think. That's why they think the way they think. So study system, study system, study system, study it. You don't have strength as an African if you are not system educated, if you don't think systems, if you don't think systems. So my name is Kwabena Darko. Today I'm talking about systems. I'm saying that there's something they call system education. And if you don't know it, then you will just be talking. We'll just be talking. We'll just be talking. So systems are good. So study systems. Once you study systems, you understand the world differently. And then when you are studying systems, when you go to school, you will go for courses that will help you to understand systems. Some courses will not, some courses will not help you. You just be, a whole generation can just be educated to be talking. And they have no ability to build structures and systems. There are courses that they just teach you, so you cannot build any structure. So they will talk about, oh, when we come, we will build this, but there's no system to make sure that what they said will come through. They know, because the education was devoid of systems in terms of thinking. So there are courses that's why I encourage you. If you say that you're very weak in mathematics, go and study it. Go to YouTube, learn it. Learn mathematics, learn physics, learn chemistry. Go and learn some science. They will help you to understand system. There are courses that you study that they will not help you to understand any system. You're just talking. And we have produced a lot of talking, and there's no format. There's no structure to solve any problem, But a system, any product that you see is coming from a system. So if you want to create solutions, it's a system. It comes from a system. So system for your family, system for your business, systems for your finances, systems for your children's development, systems for your health, systems for the environment that you live. There's a system for everything. And you have to sit down and plan that. For instance, when I'm writing a book, there's a system that I use. There's a system that I use. Even if I get lazy, sometimes I have a lot of books on the computer. Sometimes I get lazy. Sometimes I get so busy. But once I sit down, I can follow some few things, because it's a system that I've developed, and I can produce a lot of them just because I have a model, I have a structure, I have a process that I follow. So if whatever is beating you is because you have not really built your own system. So build your own system. Build it. If it is painful, if something is aching so much, look at how you can build a system to break it down. So anything that you produce out, a house, everything that you see, somebody has built a system out of it. So education is a system, culture is a system. Those with strong economies, there are systems there. That's why they say that the system is working 24 hours. And politics is a system. Religion is also a system. So I'm just encouraging you to study, learn, so that you know that this world, there are systems that are running it. There are systems that are running it. So if you don't put yourself in any of those systems, those regiments, you will struggle in life. You will struggle in life. So my name is Obeng Darko. If you just join us, we are talking about systems. And I'm saying that much of the education that they gave us, they designed for us in Africa, were devoid of systems as the basic primary tool for development. That's why they're asking you to define all the time. Let it come from your head, because you don't need to build anything. If you want to build a system, you have to be creative. You have to be innovative. You have to be bold. You have to be confident. You have to be assertive. You have to have a goal to say that this is where I want to go, and this is the kind of system that I need. And you have to be aware that they just use a system, but it's really just steps, processes, that you follow to get a particular result. And so when you are not there, anybody else who takes the same processes will get those results as well. Those results as well. So when you see a businessman complaining, it's because he has no idea of what a system is. I'm not saying you will not meet problems, you will meet challenges, but because you understand system, whenever there's challenge, you look at the system again and correct whichever fault is with what you have developed. Because the system must always be in constant correction if you want. But when you sit back and you're complaining, it means that you have no idea what they call system. And unfortunately, it has become a norm for a lot of people to make a lot of complaints. Say that, how do you handle all these your workers? Are they not stealing from you? Are they not doing that? It's because you don't understand system. Once you understand system, you know that there's a way you have to train them. There's a way that you have to control the actions. There's a way that you have to project. There's a lot of thinking that you are doing as a business person. And so maybe you are getting 20% efficiency. Maybe you are getting 50% efficiency. Maybe you are getting 100%. Whatever percentage that you can always correct it. And those who build strong systems are able to increase the efficiency. Efficiency. And so if you are at 1%, it means that you have to do a lot of controls, and you have to come out. And sometimes it's better you shut the whole system down and build a new one. But how are you going to build it when you are not even aware of it in the first place? And even if you're aware, you don't know how it is built. And most of our people, just know how to follow a system, but they don't know how to build one. And when you are doing business, technically you are building a whole system for yourself. That's why people who can build system for themselves are waiting for somebody to build it so that they can go there and work, which is okay. But if you're an entrepreneur, you must understand that everything that you have, every process, every day when you get up, where you're taking the product, where you're taking to the market, when you are shouting on the boy, those are all processes that you are put in place. It's your ability to do this constructively, your ability to do this intentionally, structurally, is what is going to be responsible for your fulfillment, for your peace, and even for how much time you have for yourself, for your health, for almost everything. And if you refuse to do that, then you have a lot of frustrations. You have a lot of frustrations. So you can have a business, but then you have lost your peace. Why? Because you don't trust anybody. Everything, all the calls must come to you. Everybody must report to you. All those, because you are not able to set barriers and stages and flow of information. Because you don't understand systems. You don't understand anything called systems. You say, I've done something. And so if you don't do that, it gets to a point that you see you become exhausted, you become tired. And then you say that you become very paranoid, become very negative, and you don't trust anybody again. Then you start to insult all of us in Ghana because you lack the understanding of system. You lack the understanding. If they chop your money, it's because you didn't have any system in place. And they have chopped a lot of money anyway. They chop your money like that, it means you didn't have any system in place to check the money. And one of the ways that you lose a lot of money is because you trust wrong people and you've not been able to study them. You've not been able to study them. So you can join us. I've said the link. If you want to join the discussion, you can join the discussion. My name is Kwabena Darko. Today I'm talking about systems. It's one of the most important things you must know as a human being. Look the world through the eyes of systems. So if you don't have anything, look at the systems that you don't have for that thing that you want, especially when people say they want money. They have no structure for that money. That's why they don't have it. The moment you have a system, you'll be able, you start to get results. So anything that is causing you pain and frustration, sit back and see how you can design the whole system for it. So you can do a lot when you think in terms of systems. You can do a lot. You can relax. Sometimes you may have a lot of things that you're doing, but because you have this understanding of systems, people may even think that you don't do anything. People may think that you don't work just because you understand. You have positioned things well, so things continue to work without a lot of your involvement. So my name is Obeng Darko. Today I'm talking about systems. I'm saying that study them. Study them, and they are responsible for any production. And somebody saying, what? Education, religion, politics is a system that is not helping us. So how can we structure this system? As I know it, Kofi, you better. That's why we have this. The internet is also a complex system now. YouTube is a system. Facebook is a system that is counteracting those old systems. That's why a lot of people are picking things that we teach and they're applying them, and it's working for them. That's why we use that. I learn a lot from YouTube, from Facebook, and from people. The other day, I wrote a book on limited opportunities. I just put them on Kindle. People can print the hard copy, and people can have the soft copy. Before, you had to have a publisher, and you had to have a lot of things before you could even produce a book. Now you can just produce a book without even paying anything. You just upload it and people can print. So that's a system. So that is an independent system. So I would say that how do we do that? I think we have to think of some of these structures. We have to think of some of these structures. These things that you have mentioned, they were there, they were designed, and they were placed there so that we will be where we are. The kind of education that we've been given as Africans, the kind of religion that majority of our people practice, where the mind is no more important. God will do everything for you. The person who's telling you that he's very much religious is not even truthful to you. You give him money and he's trying to tell you something else. You put him in charge of something and he's trying to do something different. And the same person is trying to convert you to go to heaven, and yet his character, because the kind of information that he was giving, that religious system was designed to take his mind and not to develop him. So his ethics are weak, but he's not aware, and he's the one preaching everybody. And the politics was designed to keep us, they are saying that the economy is struggling. So why are you even organizing elections again? If you don't have money, why are you spending money? Why are you even getting the money to organize the elections if the economy is sinking? So if the IMF does not bring money, do you have money for elections at all? These are some of the things that you have to ask yourself. These are some of the things that you have to ask. So the politics, as we have it, as we have designed it, as if we were in England or America, is not going to work, because those people had a lot of access for 250 years, 300 years. They had access to people's wealth. They stole a lot, so now they can experiment with democracy. You don't have that, and yet you want to practice constant democracy. That is a problem. So it's going to perpetuate. It's going to produce a poor economy. It's going to produce a poor people, who will be struggling. So you need a very strong leadership. I think that if you're changing the leaders every 4 years, are you going to develop? Study most countries that had to pick themselves. Countries that were colonized, that had to pick themselves. It's not 4 year change that has developed them. No, most of them is because there was strong mechanisms in place to produce the best of leaders. And some of them may have acquired a lot of confidence and courage because they stayed in power for more than 4 years. But ours, we have to change them every 4 years. So really, ours is for democracy. Ours is not for mainly development, but it's for elections, And until somebody else stands to say that, no, this one is not helping us, we're going to continue to produce, poverty. And our progress will be very slow, because you need required amount of hours to be put in for a country like Ghana to be very much industrialized. So as an entrepreneur owning a school from preschool to junior school, what system can you employ to constantly get the best out of your teachers? Teach them to be aware of their humanity. Teach them to be aware of their strength, of their talent, of their purpose in life. Teach them to have money as well. Teach them how to handle their own money. Teach them how to use their mind to create things. Use their mind to work. Teach them how to follow time. Teach them that they can create their own life. They are designing their lives. The life that they're living, if they are 20 now, by the time that they are 50, the life that they will have at 40 is the one that they created. So how they use their resources that God gave them. So when they are teaching there, they know that it's not just for the salary, but they are impacting lives. That's the part that they are also playing for our country to develop. That's the part that they are playing for our country to develop. So if they have that kind of psyche, then they will do well. But if they think that they came to work so that they will get money and take care of their children, then they won't do much, because then they are showing up only for the salary. That they are showing up only for the salary. So my name is Obeng Darko. Get a training regiment. First of all, train yourself. Remember, he said you cannot lead the people to a place that you have not been yourself. Yes. So you train yourself. Stretch your mind. Read. If you can read a lot. If you cannot read, search for information that will make you the best. Constantly study. That is how you become great. All of us, don't limit yourself to say, I went to school to become a teacher, so I can't know finance, I can't know medicine, I can't know engineering. No, you can study that and become a very competent person in that. Don't let anybody place any limit on you that because you studied this, you can become that. No, your talent is what God gave you, and you bring the best with your talent. The school, 4-year school must not define you. 4-year degree must not define what you become. And if you didn't go, the school that you went 4 years, even were you going to school every hour? No, maybe the whole term. How much? So the school can be shrunk, can be compressed to, let's say, 1 year. And 1 year constant training should not be the reason. It should not limit you as to what you become. You can become anything that you want to be if you subject yourself to training. So become. I train as an engineer. You can't tell me that I can't become anything. I can become anything that I want to be. It's a talent that I have. The talent that God gave me is the training that I subject myself to. Those will be responsible for what I become in life. Those will be responsible for my finances. Those will be responsible for the family that I put together. Those will be responsible for my health. Almost everything, how I relate with people, the impact that I have in life. Nobody, that school that you went to, whether you went somewhere you didn't go some, should not stop you from becoming the great person that you desire to be. So whatever you want to build is you. You just have to be able to take the bullets that will come with it. Everything that you want to become, there are forces that will fight against you. I'm not talking of spiritual forces. I'm talking of forces that will come because you decided to go for something. You have to then put yourself in a regiment. You have to start. For instance, since I set this channel, this Facebook or YouTube channel, and I said that I want to do fair life, I have to subject myself here. That is a force. That is something that comes against you. Sometimes you don't want to do it, but you just have to be here. You just have to be here. You have to sit here and say that I want to teach. That is something that you have to overcome. So you want to become successful in anything, you have to overcome inertia. You have to have momentum to keep going when everything else is telling you it's not going to be. So don't quit on your dream just because you met difficulties. Don't tell yourself that, oh, I'm even tired because they are stealing. I'm saying that it's the systems. Once you understand systems, your life will be better. So Nana, Yame said, they stole so much in secret so that they will use them next year. What does that mean? What does that mean, please? And so in Ghana, going to use IMF funds to run election? I don't know, but I'm saying that if you say the economy is struggling, then why you organize an election in the first place? Because those are millions, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But that's what I'm saying. The politics is a system that was created for us to be where we are now. So some people will just go to school, join politics, and say that they are leaders. They want to lead us to where? I don't know. And personally, at their primary level, they have not proven much with their lives. Then they want us to give the whole economy to them for them to run, and that's why you should not be shocked of their results. Anybody that you want to lead you, look at what they achieve before they I started with my children. Yes, so build a structure, build a system. So thank you very much for joining us. You can share the link. You can join us if you want. If nobody joins us, then we can draw the discussion to a close. And so I was saying that thank you very much for joining our business summit the other time. It was a nice one, the seminar. We enjoyed ourselves, and I was shocked that people were not in a hurry to go home. And next time you organize, if we didn't make this one, come. Don't just say that I was busy. No, come. We were all busy, but we still had to have time to join that program. So next time you organize, please find time to come. Don't say that I'm outside Accra, I can't come. If you were sharing money and you said that everybody should come for 1 million, I'm sure that you would have come. But what we shared is more than 1 million. What we shared is more than 1 million. So come for knowledge. That's how you build it. That's how you build structures. That's how you build systems. And the systems that you put in place, that is how you become great. So don't say, if you see anybody without any structure, they will not become anything in the future. Take it from me. No matter how many times that they pray for you, it will be nothing. Just share. They can declare. That's why the flood, if you don't have a system that controls your flood, no matter what they say, when they pause more than is necessary, there will be flood. That's a simple. That's a very basic. If you don't have a system to build that cathedral that you want to build, no amount of prayer will build it, because there has to be a system. You want to develop Ghana? There must be a system that you're training the minds of your young people. There must be a business system. The laws must be geared or redesigned to promote the locals. They should promote those who are building industries. You cannot give interest at 30% and expect your people to create businesses. State regulators should be welcoming and not be taking money from people before they serve them. Once you don't have these things, then you are not creating any prosperity for any country. You are not creating any prosperity, so that the young men will be looking for visa. Why? Because there's no system to bring the best out of them. You see that? There will not be any system to bring the best out of them. So systems are very much important. Systems are very much important.